This video that you all are about to see is a conversation between me and my daughter. And I'll be asking, questions, but we'll also be having a conversation. And this is what I call the benefit of good parenting. Check it out. I said that I would bring you guys special people. I say it all the time. And this indeed is another very special person. For those of you who follow me for a while, you already know who it is. But for those of you who have not, this is my daughter. And her name is Destiny Williams. And it's nice to have you here, Miss Destiny.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here on the show.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, she is, well, we're gonna get into a few questions. First of all, what do you do?
Well, right now I am in school full time. I'm studying economics and double majoring in art history. But anyone who knows me well knows that my true interest lies in language.
Okay.
I've had the pleasure of working in a few different industries, but what inspires me most is language and connecting with people.
So I understand that you speak fluent Spanish.
I do. Yes, I do.
What did you learn the Spanish?
You know what? I really learned it accidentally, just being nosy. We live in Texas, and there's a high Hispanic population. And above all, I'm a curious person.
Right.
So I think if you listen with open ears, it's just something that's easy to pick up on. One of my first jobs, I worked as a waitress. I was a waitress for a long time. Okay. And I just picked it up in the kitchen, talking to the dishwashers and meseros and everybody in the restaurant.
Now,
just progressed in more jobs that I had.
Okay. So have you ever traveled out of town and had to use that Spanish?
Yes, I have. In fact, I would say I use Spanish more in Texas, but I've traveled to Spanish-speaking countries. Obviously, we've been to Mexico as a family a couple of times. Okay. I went to Tulum here recently. That's quite touristy. Before that, though, I went to Spain, and I was in Madrid for a while. Right. And I speak a different form of Spanish, but I was able to expand my language capabilities there also.
So you went to Madrid, Spain.
Yes.
And do they predominantly speak Spanish there?
Yes, they do predominantly speak Spanish. There are some people who speak English, but it's not like Paris, France, or a country that ensures that everybody speaks English. Right. A lot of people do speak Spanish. That's kind of the only form of communication for a lot of people.
So is Spanish the official language of Madrid?
Yes, it is.
Or is it the official language of the country of Spain or Madrid?
Spanish is the official language of Spain and Madrid as well. Okay. But there are other languages spoken in Spain. Catalan, for example. Okay. Which some people argue is just a dialect of Spanish, but that's getting real technical. But the official language of Spain and Madrid is Spanish.
It's Spanish. So, do you speak any other languages?
Well, aside, English is my strongest one. Right. And I speak Spanish pretty well, and I speak a good amount of French. But I'm always hesitant to say that because, as I mentioned before, Texas is basically a Spanish-speaking state, so it's something that I have to exercise more. Whereas French is not as common. Okay. But I could get around if y'all drop me off in Paris, or
find
my way. I'd be fine. Yeah.
Now, you've been saying since you were in high school that you wanted to speak French and go to Paris.
I've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah. So now you've already been to Madrid. So is Paris in the near future for you?
Paris would be In the future, as far as going to Paris to speak French, though, that's not really high on the list. Just because, like I was saying, with Madrid, a lot of people there, their only form of communication is Spanish.
Okay.
Whereas in Paris, that's not the case. Obviously, French is widely spoken and it is the official language, but a lot of people there speak English. In fact, the kids grow up speaking English. So if that person is already fluent in English and I come in trying to speak my French, then we're going to be more likely to switch to English with me. So as far as learning French or studying French, I would be more inclined to go to maybe Quebec, Canada, even African countries.
And speak French.
Yeah, African countries speak French. I feel like I'd be getting a more real experience that way.
So you have traveled. Do you know how many times you've been to New York?
No, I don't. I don't know how many times I've been to New York.
So you kind of stopped counting.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have really great friends up there. I miss them all the time, actually. But I get to visit them. I would go more so during the spring and the summer, just because that's when everybody's off from school.
Right.
I haven't been able to go this year, though. I really hope that changes. But I've gone quite a few times.
So what is your favorite spot in New York, and what do you like to do most in New York?
Favorite spot in New York, and what do I like to do most? So I was talking about this with one of my friends that I visit when I'm up there. It seems like the more that I go, the more mundane it all becomes. Like last time I was in New York City, I was running errands with a friend of mine. I went to like CVS, Whole Foods, and we cooked at home. It was that kind of deal. But most of the time I'm in Manhattan. I've gone to Brooklyn a few times. I went through Queens accidentally. I got on the train, I didn't know where I was going, and I ended up in Queens. But my favorite place to be is definitely going to be Manhattan. Favorite restaurant, hard to say. I think I would say Balthazar.
Okay.
Is
that in Manhattan?
Yes, it is. There's a couple of cool bars. The area by NYU. Yeah, it's a really fun place to be. So.
You're getting some New York education from my daughter.
I'm trying my best. Leave a comment below if y'all have been out that way. Maybe some places I've never gone. Maybe something for us both to see.
Well, that's true. That's true. We got to put that on the to-do list.
For sure.
So we've traveled together a little bit.
We have. Yeah. That's where I got this spear from.
Okay. Okay. So do you remember the last trip that we took?
Was it California or Washington, D.C.?
California.
It was California?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to L.A.
Okay.
And we had a blast.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
LA was very fun.
Now we went to San Diego. We went to DC.
Yes.
Where else did we go? We went to Tampa. Well, that's when you were a kid.
Yeah, we did go to Florida. And then we had a whole slew of family trips. We went to Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mexico.
would you say that are you a well-traveled person?
No.
Okay.
It's a lot more. There's a lot more traveling to do, and that's kind of a difficult question to ask. I think anyone who right out says that they're well-traveled, I'm kind of suspicious of that.
Right.
You know, the world is really, really big. And then also, what kind of traveling are you doing when you go there? You know, like, for example, like the first couple times we went to Mexico, we stayed in Cozumel, Yucatan, and those are more touristy places. Granted, they were very nice, and I enjoyed those trips all the same, but you're not really getting a local's experience that way.
Okay.
So there are some places that I want to revisit that we've already gone, and I want to have like a very local experience. Yeah.
Okay. So it's much more to do.
It's much more to do. I've gone some places, but there's a lot more places to go.
Let's switch gears for a second.
Okay.
Now, we've had extensive discussions about Kendrick Lamar versus Drake.
The politics. I ain't come here to get political.
Yeah. So, whose career is flourishing
right
now, would you say?
You know, I guess it just depends on what kind of perspective you have.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar is dominating as far as the numbers go. You know, you hear him on the radio very often. Drake did just drop a new album though.
He did?
Yes,
Okay.
and it's doing well. The thing is, Drake has such a strong fan base that the numbers are always going to be well for him. And I feel like it's the same thing with Kendrick. Like you have your start Kendrick fans and you have your start Drake fans.
Right.
You're not moving us from that.
So they always gonna be relevant.
They're always gonna be relevant. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So why would Kendrick accuse him of such a heinous act?
You know what? One day we'll have to get him on the show and ask him about that directly.
Okay.
It was awful to hear. I think it got to a point where it was a lot of blows on both sides that I think they were just trying to cut really deep.
Right.
And I don't think it's true. I'm not sure why he said it.
So you don't think Drake's a pedophile?
No, I don't think Drake's a pedophile at all.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Do you?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we gotta get
I
K
guess we gotta get.
Well, K-Dot could lie.
He could lie. We gotta get both sides. We have to get both sides. We have to get both perspectives.
You think I can pull that interview off?
Absolutely.
Okay, boy, you did. See, did you catch that? I said, do you think I could pull an interview off with K-Dot and Drake? And she immediately said, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's positivity. You could learn a lot from that.
And I'm not saying that because we're on camera either. I have utter faith and confidence. I don't think there's that much that you can't do.
So you got confidence in me.
For sure.
Why is that?
Because I know you well, and I know the influence and ability that you have in swaying people your way. Probably shouldn't say that one on camera, but I know the power of your influence.
Switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
You said economics earlier. How old are you?
24.
24.
I just turned 24, yes.
Okay. And what does economics mean to you?
Economics is really the study of the flow of money, goods, commodities, things of this nature. And I get a lot of credit whenever I tell people that I'm interested in economics and I want to go in economics. They immediately assume I'm a numbers person and a STEM kid.
Right.
And I'm okay with numbers, but I'm not a STEM person at all.
Okay.
Above anything, economics is a social science.
Okay.
It's a social science with some numbers in it. And I do believe that when we are accounting for value within the United States, it's important that we have more perspectives in that accounting.
Okay.
And I don't want to politicize the statement that I'm making, but this is a really grand topic to talk about. But the way that we account money was chosen by a few people. You
can go ahead and say it.
The way that we account for money, our system of accounts was chosen by someone, or chosen by a few different people. And that's the reason that we do things the way we do. But the deeper understanding and the bigger our perspective is on the socioeconomics of another group can better our understanding of monetary accounting altogether. Was that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't lying.
Okay.
So with economics being in the forefront of world politics, do you have any thoughts on the tariff that the current president is imposing on several countries around the world?
Yes, sure. So I want to preface, I'm not an economist yet.
Right.
So, but I do try to take in information from both conservative and liberal economists to shape my views on the world. I don't think tariffs are a good thing, and I think most economists would agree with me. I think most financial planners would agree with me. A tariff war is not good for the country. It is not good for imports, and it hurts the consumer more than it would actually hurt the country that's doing any exporting.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we recoup some of the funds that we've been dispersing to other countries over the years, if not by tariffs?
How do we recoup some of the funds? That's a good question. I think I'd be much further in my economic career if I could answer it perfectly. But I do think that another issue that we have as far as the accounting for monetary flow within the States is people have a distorted view of how much money is in the system, where that money has gone, and where that money has come from.
Okay.
America does need to increase production, and I think it's absolutely possible to do so. We have very brilliant minds here.
Okay.
Yes, we are. We're the forefront in technology, forefront in the steel industry, oil industry. So we need to increase our production for sure. But as far as America's debt, our debt is not because of the deficit between import and exports.
Okay.
Our debt is because of bad monetary policy. Our debt is because of untaxed wealth and tax provisions that allow for money to be pocketed into the hands of a few and not go back into the system. And that is my belief.
Okay. Were you aware of the recent shooting of the rapper Lil Ronnie and his daughter?
That was horrifying. Yes, I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
That was awful.
What do you think about it?
About the shooting itself?
Yeah.
That was horrifying. That was awful. I hate that was something that the community had to experience. I hate that a child was involved, an innocent child, when they had no choice in any of that. I think that we as a community, and I'm talking about my people, we need to do an overhaul in our value system.
Okay.
Oh man, this is getting kind of political too, right? Yeah. We really do need to change our value system. We need to change how we view respect, how we view morality, what we consume, what we listen to, because all of that gets perpetuated in the young minds, and then this is how we get atrocities and travesties like what happened at the car wash that day.
They say that there's an argument that says that drill music plays into a lot of what's going on today.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yep.
Drill music.
And you know what? I'm not going to sit here on my high horse and act like I didn't listen to Future on the way here. I did.
Yeah. But I heard you listen to some blues and maybe some Al Green, some Frankie Beverly.
Listen to some techno,
but
house, classical.
I think most of them get a constant dose of the same thing.
Right. Yeah, and it's deeper than even the words, really. Like I was saying, I'll listen to classical and techno music, and there's no words there, but you can feel the energy of a song, and it affects you on some level. Like you walk in here and I'm doing my homework and I'm listening to techno, and you're like, what is that? Like, why are you listening to that? But
she listens to techno music.
I listen to a lot of techno, but it's because the sound waves of that music, the frequency of those vibrations can alter your ability to focus.
Okay.
And if that can exist in techno music, then what are the sound waves of drill music doing to the younger minds? So
the
undeveloped mind. Yes, that's a key point too. Yeah, I think we have a lot of changes to make. I'm not a proponent of drill music at all, and if I was the leader of our community, I would say we need to buy back our radio stations and we need to buy back our television, because we need to be in control of what we listen to, what we consume.
That's good stuff. I agree 1000%.
Yep.
Okay, maybe two more questions.
Okay.
Did you see the young lady, the mother of the child? Did you see that video that she posted?
No, unfortunately, it was just such a tragedy that I wanted to stay away from it. But what happened in the video?
I have to show it to you, but she was kind of talking about how everybody gonna be dressed up in Gucci, and she was saying something about this guy named the Tax Man. I don't know what she was talking about, but I'll let you see it.
Okay.
And then we'll come back on here and talk about it a little bit more one day.
Oh, okay.
But this is an impromptu, is that the word you use?
Yes.
This is an impromptu interview. Let us know what y'all think in the comments.
Thank you.
And this is another edition of the Positive Postman's podcast. Peace.